Morning in the forest and stream. I wake before the rooster finds his voice. The world outside is still dark, though I can hear the night preparing to give itself away. My bamboo walls creak softly, reminding me that the mountain wind has been up all night, brushing against the hut like a curious child. I sit up on my mat, rubbing the smoke from my eyes, and for a moment I listen. The drip of last night's dew, the faint shifting of the ducks outside, the long exhale of the forest. My name is Lytieuca, and this is how most of my mornings begin, quietly with a promise to myself that today I will do enough. The first thing I do is stir the ashes in the clay stove. A faint red glow hides beneath the gray. I blow gently and the embers answer with sparks. I feed them thin bamboo strips until the fire catches, and soon the smell of smoke curls through the hut. I pour water into the dented pot, set it on the fire, and add a handful of rice. It's not much, but rice has a way of becoming enough when eaten slowly. While the water simmers, I step outside. The air is cool, damp, carrying the sharp scent of bamboo leaves and earth still wet with mist. My bare feet find the familiar grooves of the wooden threshold, worn smooth by years of coming and going. The yard is small, nothing more than a patch of packed dirt surrounded by a low fence of bamboo stakes. But to me, it is home. The ducks are already awake, muttering in their language of soft complaints. I scatter a handful of rice bran, and they rush forward, their beaks tapping the earth like raindrops. One of them lays eggs in odd places. Yesterday I found one hidden under the step, warm against the bamboo. I pick it up carefully and tuck it into a basket, thinking of the market day ahead when eggs might become salt or a few coins. By the time I return inside, the rice porridge is ready. I eat quickly, blowing on each spoonful, then wrap a scarf around my head and shoulders. The forest is no place to enter carelessly, even for someone who has walked its paths since childhood. I take my basket, woven from rattan, mended many times, and slip my short knife into its loop. This basket has carried everything: firewood, greens, mushrooms. Even my daughter, when she was small enough to ride, curled up inside it like a bird in a nest. Today it will carry fish, shrimp, or crabs if the stream is generous. The path begins just beyond my yard, where the grass bends low as if bowing. It threads upward through the trees, sometimes clear, sometimes only guessed. My feet know it well. Ferns brush my knees, vines tug at my sleeves, and once in a while I catch the gleam of a spider web jeweled with dew. The forest holds 100 shades of green, some bright as fresh tea, others deep as moss after rain. I breathe it in, letting the smell of damp leaves fill my chest. As I walk, I think of my daughter Han. She is still with my mother in the hamlet down the slope, where she is safe, where she has friends to play with, and elders to scold her when she grows mischievous. Some mornings I ache to have her beside me, her small hand tugging at my sleeve, her laughter echoing off the trees. But I know this work, catching, selling, cooking, surviving, must be done so she has more than I did when I was her age. Promises are heavy, but I carry them like bundles of firewood, steadily, without dropping. The path dips toward the stream. I hear it before I see it, the steady murmur of water over stones, the occasional splash of something unseen. When I reach the bank, the mist is lifting, and the water glimmers like a sheet of silver cloth spread out beneath the trees. The air here is colder, kissed by the current. I set down my basket, roll up my sleeves, and step into the shallows. The water clutches my ankles, cold enough to make me gasp. Tiny fish scatter at my movements, flashing like coins in the sun. I carry a simple trap made from split bamboo, a basket-shaped funnel with a narrow mouth. It is not clever, but it has always been enough for someone like me. I place the trap between rocks, weighting it with stones, then scatter a handful of crushed roots inside. Fish, shrimp, even crabs sometimes wander in, lured by curiosity and scent, but unable to find their way out. I set 3 traps in different spots, each one carefully hidden by overhanging roots or branches, then sit on the bank to wait. Waiting is a skill the forest teaches well. I listen to the water, to the bird calls rising as the morning warms, to the distant tapping of a woodpecker. Time slows here, becomes round instead of straight. My thoughts wander, the price of fish at the market, whether the roof needs patching again, how many eggs the ducks will give this week, when I might next bring Han home for a long visit. After an hour, I check the traps. The first holds 2 small fish wriggling against the bamboo slats. I thank the water under my breath as I transfer them to a woven pouch. The second trap holds a crab, its claws snapping in protest. I lift it carefully, avoiding the pinch, and drop it into the basket. The third trap is empty, but that is how it often goes. The forest gives what it decides, not what we demand. I reset the traps, then wade farther upstream, peering beneath rocks. Sometimes shrimp hide there, clinging to the underside. I lift a stone and see 3 dart away. Quick as I can, I scoop with my hand and catch one. Its shell is slippery, but I hold on, dropping it into the pouch with a satisfied nod. One by one, I gather more. Small creatures, but together they will make a meal. By midday, my basket is half full, fish glistening, shrimp snapping, crabs shifting their claws. It is enough to sell, enough to eat, enough to stretch across tomorrow. My back aches from bending, my feet are numb from the cold, but my heart feels lighter. I climb from the stream, water dripping from my legs, and sit beneath a tree to rest. The forest hums around me, alive with cicadas. I chew a piece of dried, sweet potato I carried in my pocket. The taste simple but comforting. Above me, the branches sway, letting sunlight fall in patches. I close my eyes for a moment and think, this is how I survive. One morning at a time, one catch at a time. Soon I will shoulder the basket and walk to the market, where the air smells of grilled meat and spices, where voices rise and fall like waves, where coins clink and gossip flows faster than the stream. But for now, I sit in the quiet, my basket beside me, and breathe the deep breath of someone who knows that survival is made of small victories. Afternoon in the market, by the time the sun has climbed higher, the forest is no longer shy. The cicadas sing with such sharpness that the air feels full of needles. My basket presses against my back, heavy with fish, shrimp, and crabs, the weight shifting with every step. It is the kind of heaviness I welcome, for it means there will be coins in my hand by evening. The path from the stream joins a dusty road that leads to town. Here, the forest opens its arms a little, letting me walk under the wide sky. My feet raise little clouds of dust. Sometimes a motorbike passes, rattling like a tin drum, and I step aside, watching the rider disappear in a swirl of brown haze. I walk steadily, not fast but not slow either. The market waits, and the sooner I reach it, the sooner my basket will become lighter. Along the way, I meet other villagers. An old man with a bundle of bamboo poles balanced across his shoulder greets me with a nod. A woman, her back bent under a sack of cassava roots, smiles faintly but keeps her pace. We are all travelers of necessity, carrying the forest gifts down to the valley where they can be turned into salt, oil, and fabric. No one complains. The road is our common language, and silence is often the politest form of conversation. The closer I come to town, the more the smells change. First, the dry scent of dust and sun-warmed leaves, then the sharper tang of smoke, finally the rich mixture of grilled meat, fried dough, spices, and the faint sweetness of fruit stands. The market is alive before I even see it. Voices carry through the air, high-pitched bargaining, children laughing, a trader shouting about the freshness of his produce. When I step into the marketplace, it is as if the world has changed skins. The quiet rhythm of the forest falls away, replaced by noise and color. Stalls line the narrow paths, their roofs patched with blue tarps, palm leaves, or anything that can keep off the sun. On the tables are heaps of vegetables, baskets of fruit, trays of meat glistening with fat, jars of spices glowing red and yellow. I find my usual spot near the corner where the shade is kind in the afternoon. I lay out my fish and shrimp on banana leaves, arranging them neatly so that they look more plentiful than they are. The crabs I keep in a small bamboo cage. Their restless movements attract attention. I did not shout like some traders do. Instead, I let my catch speak for itself. People here know me. They know I do not cheat, that I bring what I truly caught. No more, no says. A woman with a basket of chilies stops first. She squats, studies the fish, and asks the familiar question. How much, sister? I tell her the price, not too high, not too low. She frowns, picks up a fish, weighs it in her hand. Bargaining is as natural as breathing here. After a few exchanges, we settle. She hands me coins, and I slip them into the cloth pouch at my waist. She leaves smiling, and I feel lighter. More customers come. A man who runs a noodle stall buys shrimp for his broth. A grandmother chooses two crabs for her grandchildren, their claws tied with string so they cannot pinch. Each transaction is small, but together they begin to add up. I think of my daughter, of the rice-jarred home, of the soap I must buy, the salt, perhaps even a small sweet for Han if the coins stretch far enough. Between sales, I watch the life of the market. Children chase each other around the stalls, their laughter skipping like stones across water. A boy carries a cage of ducklings, their soft peeps rising above the noise. An old woman sells herbal medicine, her table covered with bundles of roots and dried leaves, each with a story she is ready to tell. The smell of grilled pork drifts from a food stall, making my stomach twist with hunger, though I will not spend money here. Better to save for what lasts. As the afternoon deepens, the sun leans lower, casting long shadows across the market. My basket grows lighter as the fish and shrimp find new homes. The pouch at my waist grows heavier with coins, small ones mostly, worn and dull, but precious to me. I use part of the money to buy what we need: a small bag of rice, a little salt, a bar of soap with a faint citrus scent. From a kind woman who knows me, I buy a piece of cloth at a fair price, thinking it will serve as a headscarf or maybe a patch for Han's clothes. And because I want to see her smile, I buy one small sweet cake wrapped in banana leaf. It is soft and sticky, filled with mung beans. I can already picture her delight. By the time I pack up, the market is beginning to thin. Traders call their last offers. Customers hurry to finish their shopping before dusk. I tuck the empty banana leaves into my basket, gather my coins, and start the walk back up the road. My steps are slower now, my shoulders aching, but my heart feels steady. The day has given what it could, and that is all I ask. The road home is quieter. The sun paints the sky with strokes of orange and pink, and the forest seems to sigh as it prepares for night. I pause once to adjust the weight of my basket and look back at the boiling, at the smoke rising from cooking fires, at the market shrinking into distance. Then I turn toward the mountain path. Home waits, with its creaking roof, its small fire, its ducks, and its silence. And in that silence, I will find my strength again. Evening, home, cooking, and reflection. The path home always feels longer when the sky turns gold, though my basket is lighter than before. My legs ache, but it is a sweet ache, the kind that tells me I have done something that matters. The mountain greets me with the cool breath of its trees, and the birds that have spent the day searching for food now race each other back to their nests. When I reach my bamboo hut, the familiar sight makes me breathe easier. the roof stitched from palm fronds, the wooden fence leaning slightly but still standing, the ducks muttering as if they've been waiting to scold me for being gone too long. The dog comes bounding out from behind the house, his tail a brush painting joy across the air. I crouch to pat his head, murmuring thanks for guarding the yard. I set the basket down inside, the coin still tied safely at my waist. The hut smells faintly of smoke and earth, of the forest carried in on my clothes. I sweep the floor quickly with the broom of bamboo twigs, clearing away the dust that has gathered. It feels good to make the space neat before I begin to cook. Han, my daughter, comes running from where she has been playing with a neighbor's child. Her cheeks are flushed, her little hands sticky with dirt. She clings to my skirt and looks up with wide eyes. "Mama, did you bring something?" she asks, her voice soft but hopeful. I smile, untie the pouch, and pull out the small, sweet cake wrapped in banana leaf. Her eyes widen and she laughs the way only children laugh, like bells ringing. She takes the cake with both hands as if it were treasure and sits carefully on the step to peel away the leaf. I watch her eat, each bite slow, her face glowing with happiness. That single sweet makes all the way to the road, the bargaining, the aching shoulders worth it. While she eats, I begin to prepare our supper. I wash the fish I saved for us in the bamboo trough, its water running endlessly, knocking gently against the wood. The sound soothes me as I scale the fish, slice it neatly, and set it in a pot with ginger, wild herbs, and a pinch of salt. The smell rises quickly, sharp and comforting. On the clay stove, the firewood crackles, smoke curling up through the gaps in the roof. I add rice to a pot, rinsing it 3 times until the water runs clear, then set it beside the fish soup. I chop a few greens I gathered from the forest, bitter leaves that taste better when softened by boiling, and add them to another small pot. Han comes to my side, nibbling the last of her sweet cake. She tugs at my sleeve. "Mama, can I help?" she asks. I hand her a small spoon and let her stir the pot of rice, though her stirring is more play than work. Still she beams with pride, and I let her believe she has helped make our supper. When everything is ready, we sit on the floor, the bowls spread before us on a low bamboo mat. The fish soup steams, the rice glows softly, the greens shine dark and humble. Han eats eagerly, dipping her rice into the soup, humming happily between bites. I eat slower, savoring each mouthful, my eyes drifting often to her small face. To see her eat well is the deepest comfort. After we finish, I wash the bowls carefully, setting them on the shelf to dry. Then I tidy the hut, sweeping again, folding the blanket, straightening the tools. Han helps by carrying small sticks to the woodpile, her steps unsteady but determined. The evening grows darker, the forest outside alive with crickets, frogs, and the soft rush of the stream. I light a candle and place it in a glass jar to keep the wind from stealing it. Its glow warms the hut, casting gentle shadows on the bamboo walls. Han grows sleepy. I lay out the blanket on the floor and tuck her under it, humming the old lullaby my mother once sang to me. Her eyes close slowly, her breath softening until she drifts into dreams. I sit beside her watching, my heart swelling with both love and ache. Being both mother and father is not easy. There are nights I feel the weight of loneliness pressing against my chest. But when I see her small chest rise and fall, I know that everything I do has meaning. When she sleeps, I step outside for a moment. The night is deep, the stars scattered like salt across the black sky. The air is cooler, brushing my skin gently. I sit on the step of the hut, my hands resting on my knees, and let the silence fill me. In that silence, I think of the day, the slippery crabs caught with patience, the bargaining in the market, the sweet cake that made my daughter laugh. I think too of the long road ahead, of the repairs the hut will need before the next rains. of the coins I must save for Han's schooling, of the strength I must keep finding in myself. There is fear, yes, fear of sickness, of storms, of the loneliness that sometimes gnaws at me. But there is also a stubborn flame of courage that refuses to go out. I am lytieuca, a mother, a daughter of the mountains, and though I have little, I have enough. I whisper a prayer to the night, to the mountains and the river, thanking them for carrying me through another day. Then I go inside, blow out the candle, and lie down beside my daughter. Her warmth curls against me, her tiny hand resting on my arm. I close my eyes, and before sleep takes me, I tell myself quietly, tomorrow I will rise again, carry my basket, walk the deer path, and keep living for her, for us. And in that thought, I finally rest.